Hi friends, welcome back to your tarot-inspired yoga class. Today, continuing on with our theme of inspiration, our tarot card for today is the Magician. Now, the Magician is known as the great manifester. He's working on his creative dreams, he's making them happen, he's using every single tool in his toolbox to get where he wants to go. So that is the energy I want you to bring to your New Year's resolutions, any goals you might have throughout the year. Just remember that you have all these tools at your disposal, whether you realize it or not. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I want to do that thing, but I'm not really sure if I know enough. I don't know enough people, I don't have enough skills, so I'm just not going to do it. I have been in that spot, and let me tell you, if you don't start now, you're not going to do it in a week, a month, a year, 2 years. Sometimes it's just important to jump in and just trust that what you want will make a path for you to get there, right? And you might be surprised at how many tools you already have within yourself. If this is something you've been thinking about and dreaming about, just those moments of thinking and planning and wanting can give you a lot more tools than you think. You have people around you who care about you, who want to support you. It's always important to know that you have resources. You have your inner voice telling you what you want, what you need, what you will have. You have the people around you who you can talk to and kind of just work through things with. So I hope that this has inspired you to work on that thing you've been putting off. Just know you don't have to be perfect to get started, right? You don't have to know everything or have every single skill to just get started. Sometimes the skills are things that you pick up as you go along. So, for today's Vinyasa class, we're going to pick up some new poses, new transitions. I'm actually really excited for you to try out this class. It's a real fun, creative one. I would recommend 2 blocks today. I'll be demonstrating a couple poses with those blocks, but if you don't have them, it's all good. Don't worry too much about it. We're just gonna jump right in and get started. So, grab your blocks if you've got them. You can also use just any kind of blocky object, maybe some big fat books you have sitting around. Just something sturdy you can put your hands on. And we're gonna move forward and backwards between our low lunge and our half splits. Just getting our hips warmed up, our hamstrings ready to go, warming up our legs. So place the blocks on either side of the right foot. Right knee is bent in front of you. One hand on each block, and just sink into the hips. Sit up nice and tall with the torso, gaze forward, sinking forward, letting the hips open. Inhale here. And on the exhale, send the hips back, straighten through the right leg, point the right toes up towards the sky, and fold forward over that right leg for our half splits, getting a nice stretch through the back of the right leg here. Think about drawing the right hip back, left hip forward. You can keep a slight micro bend in that extended leg. And just feel that stretch along the back of the right leg. Inhale, coming back the way we came. Bend through the right knee, sink forward. Torso standing up nice and tall. And we'll just use our breath to go back and forward. So inhale, low lunge. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the right leg, half splits. Inhale, sink the hips forward. Exhale, send the hips back. Couple more times. Inhale, forward. And exhale, send it back. Once more each way. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, half splits. Beautiful. From here, go ahead and bend into that right knee, plant the right foot, And move the blocks towards the left side of your mat. We're going to swing that left shin parallel to the front of the mat and open up the hips towards the left. Sink into that right hip. We're doing kind of a low lunge, but a side low lunge. So we're opening up the hips and sending the right hip forward. You can keep the blocks under your hands, or you can put one forearm on the right thigh, left hand on the hip, or maybe reaching up overhead, and just gently bounce forward and back into that right hip and our open side lunge, just trying to get the legs warmed up, the hips warmed up. I always think this one feels really nice, especially after sitting all day long. Couple more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, grab onto your blocks. Draw your right knee back. Turn towards your front of your mat, bringing your blocks with you. And we're going to do that same sequence on the other side. So step the left foot forward. Left knee is bent. Placing the hands on your blocks. Torso standing up nice and tall, and just sink into that right hip. Sending the hips down towards the mat, getting a nice opening. On the next inhale, we're going to lift up out of the hips. Start to send the hips back, straighten through the left leg, point the left toes up towards the sky for our half splits. Think about drawing the left hip back, right hip forward. And exhale, bow over that left leg, keeping a slight micro bend in that extended leg. Feel that stretch through the left hamstring. If it's super tight today, that's okay. That's what these warm-ups are for. Gently opening things up, not trying to force it too much. Just gauging how we feel today. On the next inhale, lift up out of the pose, bend through that left knee, and draw the hips forward for low lunge. We'll move back and forth with our breath here. Inhale, low lunge, open the chest, sink the hips down. Exhale, send the hips back, straighten the left leg, bow forward, half splits. Inhale, bring it forward, low lunge, open the shoulders up. Exhale, sink the hips back, half splits. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips forward. Exhale, straighten the leg, send the hips back, half splits. One more time each way. Inhale, lift and bend, low lunge. Exhale, lift the hips up, send them back, half splits. Beautiful. So this time, bend into that left knee, plant the left foot, grab your blocks, and draw them over to the right side of the mat. Swing that right shin parallel to the front of the mat, and sink deeply into that front hip, the left hip, opening the hips up towards the right. You can keep your hands on the blocks, or maybe lift the torso, place the left forearm on the left thigh. You can place the right hand on the right hip, or lift it up and over, totally up to you. And just bouncing into that front hip, nice and gentle, opening up the inner hips, getting the legs working, getting them ready. Couple breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Lift up, grab your blocks, draw the left knee back, face forward, We're just gonna move our blocks out of the way here. Meeting in tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck the toes and send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out the feet. Maybe shake out the head, no. Shake it out, yes. Loosen up a little bit, moving the hips around. Whatever you need to feel comfortable in your downward facing dog today. Gaze forward at the hands and slowly tiptoe the feet forward until we meet the hands in a standing forward fold at the front of your mat. Grab opposite elbows here, bend generously through the knees, and take a moment in a ragdoll, swaying side to side. Lower the hands to the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms together, and exhale, arms by the sides. Great job. I think we're nice and warmed up. Let's get into our main flow. We're gonna go through it, as always, once a little slower, getting used to it on each side, and then we'll move through it with our breath a little quicker. So, let's get started. Meeting in Tadasana, feet about hips with distance, Slight bend in the knees here. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Press the palms together. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, send the right foot up and back behind you, toes point down. Exhale, bend the right knee, draw right knee to nose, and step forward, setting up for warrior one. So feel free to walk the feet out onto train tracks, plant the entire sole of the left foot on the mat, right knee is bent. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead for warrior one. Feel free to make some space between the feet here. If your feet are a little closer towards the midline, sometimes it can be a little bit harder to balance. So I personally like to make some space for my hips. I'm a lady with big hips, so it makes it a lot easier for me to feel grounded when my feet have some space between them. So anyway, warrior one, inhale here. And exhale, open up towards the left, straighten through both legs. Feet are pointing out for goddess pose. So starting in star pose, arms reach up, gather some length here. Bend through both knees and bend the elbows to gold pose for goddess pose. Beautiful, maybe sway side to side. Get a little fluidity here. From here, you might want to watch me first. We're going to bow forward, keeping the legs as they are in goddess pose position. Bowing forward, crossing our wrists, kind of in a fancy little position. Start with a cross, and then draw the hands away from each other towards the toes. Beautiful. So, once again, we're in star pose, inhale. Exhale to goddess, goalpost arms. Fold forward, cross at the wrists with the hands, and draw the hands away from each other towards the toes. Beautiful. From here, straighten through the legs. We're going to slowly walk the hands forward, turning the toes forward, bend through the right knee, meeting in a runner's lunge. You might like blocks here. Always optional, but I like to have my blocks at the ready. From here, in our runner's lunge, we're going to lean all our weight forward into the right leg and lift the left foot up off the mat. So hips are squared towards the mat here. Does not matter how much you lift that back leg. We're in standing splits position. So maybe you watch other teachers and their left foot is way up towards the sky, but do not worry. It's more about folding your torso towards the standing leg rather than trying to lift the back foot as high as it will go. So, folding the knee towards the nose towards the knee, as close as it will go. If you want to get fancy with your standing splits with me, bend through the left knee, open the hip up towards the left, as much as you'd like, and then slowly walk the hands towards the right. So we're in kind of a hip opening, side bending, standing splits. I love this variation. Just feels so powerful. Beautiful. Slowly walk the hands back towards center. Keep that left knee bent. Bend through the standing leg and tuck the left knee behind the right in Shiva squat. From here, draw the left knee down towards the ankle and lift it back up to the knee. Draw the left knee down to the ankle, lift it up. One more time. Draw it down, lift it up. And this time, we're gonna draw the knee down all the way down to the mat as slow as we can go, meeting in what we call primal squat. So I'll turn towards you so you can see what I'm doing here. So my left shin is down and my right foot is planted. So my right knee is up off the mat, left knee is down, and my hands are just planted somewhere in front of me, wherever it feels natural. Again, you don't have to have your legs super close together. Feel free to make space for your hips, for your belly, whatever you got. Make the pose work for you. So primal squat, facing towards the front of the mat. From here in our primal squat, we're gonna place the left hand behind us, kind of leaning back on that left hand, and we're going to kick the right foot forward. Maybe lift that right hand too, just feels natural. And then lower it back down. Moving the hands back to primal squat position, we have two options for the next move. So this is personal preference. It won't make that much of a difference. I will show you both. So option number one, a little less intense. What we're gonna do is lean forward onto our hands. Our right foot is planted, and we're gonna lift our left leg and kick it up towards the sky. From here, we just slowly lower the left foot back, meeting in our runner's lunge again. So that one is a little less intense. If you want to add a little pizzazz to your primal squat kick, we're going to slam our hands down. We're going to use the power of the right foot to give us some momentum to kick the left foot up and maybe hop that right foot off the mat. So let me show you what I mean. Slam the hands down. We're going to hop and send that back. So once again, slam the hands down, use the momentum, power of the right foot, kick up, hop the right foot down, landing in runner's lunge. So don't worry, we'll go through this on the other side. From here in our runner's lunge, we're just going to plant the sole of the left foot, cartwheel the hands up to warrior two. Beautiful. Sink into that front knee, and then extend the front knee straight. Lean back with the torso, kink the hip back, reach up for reverse triangle. Beautiful. From here, swivel the left arm down and forward, squaring our hips to the front. Now, if you noticed, I moved my back leg to make some space between my legs. So, in Warrior Two, our front heel is usually aligned to the middle of our back foot. So when you turn forward, your feet are kind of on a tightrope. Now, if you're like me, you've got some hips. Facing forward in this tightrope type position doesn't work very great for me. So when I go from my Warrior Two, reverse triangle, and I turn forward, I lift up my back heel and make more space between my feet. All right, so from here, reach up, inhale, exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward for pyramid pose. You can always grab your blocks if you can't quite reach the mat. And in fact, we will need our blocks for the next pose. So folding forward over that front leg, pyramid pose. Move your left block to one side. Lift up your right block onto the tallest setting. Widen your feet out almost as wide as the mat, like super wide. Give yourself a nice foundation. Both legs are straight. We're moving into revolve triangle. So from our pyramid, we're folded forward, both hips facing forward. We're going to twist to the right, place the left hand on the block on the outside of the right foot, or you can move it to the inside if that's more accessible. Totally depends on your own personal anatomy. So either way, inside or outside the right foot, plant the left hand on the block. We're going to swing the right arm back and up, twisting the torso towards the right. Think about drawing the inner thighs in towards each other to make you feel more stable in your revolved triangle. It's a tough, tough pose. Deep, deep twist. So we might as well give it a try, right? You never know what you're capable of until you try it. Beautiful. From here, place the right hand on the right hip. Look down at your right foot. We're going to take our block in our hand and move it just slightly forward in front of the foot. We're moving from revolved triangle to revolved half moon. Oh boy. So, gazing down at the right foot, bend into the right knee, lean all your weight into the right foot and the left hand. Lift the left foot up off the mat. Flex through the left foot. Start to try to twist towards the right. If you fall, like me, get right back into it. You can keep the right hand on the hip if that feels stable, or reach it up towards the sky. Revolved half moon. Deep, deep twist here. You got it. Turn the torso to face towards the mat. Maybe plant the hands. Plant the left foot down on the mat. Sweep the arms up. Press the palms together. And exhale. Arms by the sides. Woo! We did it. Shake it out. Maybe do some twists. We're going to even it out on the other side. So, moving slow again. Make sure your blocks are accessible to you. Starting at the top of the mat. Take a deep breath. Center yourself. Let go of what happened on the right side. Start fresh on the left side. All right, here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Press the palms together. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot up and back, toes point down. Exhale, draw the knee to nose and step forward for warrior one. Plant the right sole of the foot, bend through the left knee, make some space between the feet if that feels good. Inhale, sweep it up. Warrior one. Beautiful. Feeling super grounded in the feet. Open up towards the right. Straighten through the legs. Reach up for star pose. Our feet are pointing out at angles. Getting prepared for goddess pose. Exhale, bend through the knees. Bend through the arms into goal pose. Goddess pose. Maybe sway side to side. Make those legs work. From here, we're going to fold forward. Cross at the wrists, right in the middle. And draw the hands apart towards the toes. Beautiful. From here, walk the hands forward, turning the torso forward, meeting in runner's lunge. Beautiful. Getting ready for our standing splits. So from runner's lunge, lean all the weight forward. You can always grab your blocks here, of course, to lift the floor up to meet your hands. So from our runner's lunge, lean all the way into the left foot, leaning forward and lift the right foot up towards the sky. Think about folding the torso towards the standing leg. Don't worry so much about how high the right foot lifts. Keep the hips square towards the mat. Bowing the head forward. To spice up our standing split, we're going to bend through the right knee, open the hips up towards the right, and then slowly walk the hands towards the left. So we're drawing the hands away from the right knee away from the hands, getting that hip opening and side bending at the same time. Such a fun move I learned from my teacher training with authentic movements. Gotta love some creative moves. Walk the hands back towards center. Draw the right knee behind the left, bend through both knees for Shiva squat. From here, draw the right knee towards the left ankle and draw it up. Draw the right knee down and zip it up. One more time, draw it down, zip it up, and this time lower the shin all the way down to the mat for our primal squat. So again, primal squat, our right shin is down on the mat, left knee is lifted, left foot is planted, hips sitting down on the right ankle, and the hands planted in front of you. Make some space between the feet and the legs. Give yourself some room for that belly, room for the hips, whatever you need. Make the pose work for you. You have all the tools you need, right? All right, from our primal squat, we're up on that left foot. Take the right hand behind you, lean back into the right hand, and then kick forward with the left foot. Lower it back down. Plant both hands in front of you. Now here's where we have our two different options. So I'm going to demonstrate both of them for you on this side. First option, a little less intense, more approachable. Lean forward on both hands. Plant that left foot. Send the right foot up and back behind you. And then lower it down onto the mat into our runner's lunge. Option number one. Option number two is to add a little hop in there, basically. So we're going to slam the hands down in front of us. Use the power of that left foot into the mat to hop. Send the right foot back, runner's lunge. So whichever one you landed on, meet me in the runner's lunge here. We're going to plant the right foot down, cartwheel the hands up, meeting in warrior two with the left foot forward. Beautiful. From here, straighten through the left leg. Tip back with the arms, reverse triangle. Moving from reverse triangle, sweep the right arm up and forward. Again, making some space between the feet if you'd like. Preparing for pyramid pose. So, grab your blocks if you'd like them. Sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward over the front leg. Both legs are straight here. You can place your hands onto blocks. Both hips are drawing forward, square to the mat, and bow over that front leg. Pyramid pose. Beautiful. Here comes our fancy revolve triangle. So, move one block out of your way. Left block up on the highest setting. Make sure your feet are a comfortable distance. I like them almost as wide as the mat. Give yourself a super wide foundation and you'll feel that you might be able to balance a little bit better. So, legs are nice and strong. We're going to place the right hand on the block, either on the outside of the left foot or the inside, whatever feels more natural to you. For me, it's on the outside. Open the torso up towards the left. Sweep the left arm down, back, and up for a revolved triangle. Draw the inner thighs in towards each other to give yourself a super stable lower body. Give yourself space to open up through the shoulders, twisting towards the left. Look down at the left foot. Grab onto your block with the right hand. Place the left hand on the hip and just move your block forward a little bit, setting up for a revolved half moon. Bend through the left knee. Send all your weight into the left foot and the right hand on the block, and lift the right foot up and back. Hips are still square. Flex through that right foot. You can keep the left hand on the left hip or lift it up. If you fall, don't worry about it. Jump right back in, opening up towards the left. Deep twisting here. Gaze down at the hand. Plant the right foot. Bow over the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Press the palms together. And exhale, arms by the sides. Woo! We made it. Let's go through that one more time on each side. We're going to move just a little bit faster to make it into more of a flow with our breath. So, we can do it. Let's have some fun. All right. Meeting in Tadasana, wasting no time. Inhale, sweep it up. Press the palms together. Fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, step forward. Sweep the arms up, warrior one. Open to the left, star pose. Exhale, goddess pose, bow forward. Cross the wrists, draw the hands away towards the toes. Crawl the hands forward, meeting in runner's lunge. Lean all the way into the right foot, lift the left foot up, standing splits. Bend through the left knee, and walk the hands towards the right for a fancy standing splits. Walk the hands back towards the center, left knee behind right, Shiva squat. And we're not going to do any of that drawing down, just lower it into primal squat, hands in front of you. Draw the left hand behind you, kick forward. Plant the hands, whichever version feels natural. Kick up, meeting in runner's lunge. Cartwheel the hands up, warrior two. Straighten, lean back, reverse triangle. Sweep the left arm up and forward, preparing for pyramid. And fold forward. Grab your blocks if you'd like them. Pyramid pose. From here, setting up your block and your feet. Left hand on the block. Sweep the right hand back and up. Revolve triangle. Take a moment here. Gaze down at the left hand. Move it forward. Right hand on the hip. Bend into the right knee. Lift the left foot up. Revolved half moon. Twist towards the right. Lower the hands down. Plant the left foot down. Forward fold. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, Tadasana. Here we go. One more time on the left side. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward dog. Left foot up and back. knee to nose, step forward, warrior one. Straighten the legs, star pose towards the right, bend into goddess pose, bow forward, cross the wrists, sweep the arms away, crawl the hands forward, runner's lunge. Lean all the weight into the left foot, lift the right foot up, standing splits, bend into that right knee, open the hip, walk the hands to the left, fancy standing splits. Hands back to center, right knee behind the left, Shiva squat, and lower that right shin down for primal squat. Right hand behind you, kick forward, plant the hands down, hop, runner's lunge. Cartwheel the hands up, warrior two, send it back, tip back, reverse triangle, sweep the right arm up and forward, preparing for pyramid pose. Fold forward, grab your blocks, bow forward over the front leg, pyramid pose. Set up your left block, set up your foundation in the feet, moving towards revolve triangle, right hand on the block. Sweep the left arm back and up, revolve triangle, draw the inner thighs together, look down at the left foot, bend through that left knee, grab your blocks, draw it forward, lean all the weight into the left foot, and lift the right foot up for revolve half moon. Maybe twist open towards the left. Don't worry if you fall. Lower both hands down, plant the right foot, bow forward, forward fold, sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms together, and exhale, arms by the sides. Woo! We made it through our flow. We're just gonna do one little cool down before we get ready for Shavasana. So kudos to you for making it through that crazy flow. I hope you had a lot of fun. So go ahead and stand with your feet hips distance or wider. I tend to prefer wider. We're gonna do some ragdoll circles. Kind of give our upper torso a break here. So just imagine that you can't move your arms. Your arms are dead weight. They're like two floppy little fishes attached to your body, okay? So the arms completely dead weight here. Slight bend in both knees. Keep them buoyant. We're just going to lean the torso towards the left. Draw the torso down towards the left foot. Nice and slow. Moving towards the center, drawing the torso towards the right leg, and slowly drawing all the way up. So we're just making little circles with the torso and letting the arms just let gravity take over and kind of fold ourselves forward. So let's do that again. Arms are dead weight. Kind of fold towards the left side, drawing the torso down slowly towards the left foot. Draw towards the middle. Draw towards the right foot. And slowly bring it up back to center. Great. Let's do that twice in the opposite direction. So starting by leaning towards the right, drawing your torso down towards the right foot, coming back to a center forward fold. Draw the torso towards the left, through the left, and all the way up. Lovely. One more time. Folding towards the right. Draw the torso down the right leg, towards the right foot, through the center, towards the left, drawing all the way up into a stand. Whew. That one's really nice. Okay, from here, let's just sit onto our mat, all the way down on our back bodies. Bend the knees, draw them in towards the body. Make some small circles in one direction and small circles in the other direction. Hug the knees in towards the body, give them a good squeeze. And then, preparing for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Stretch the legs out long. Reach the arms out to the side. Let the feet flop out towards the side. No muscular engagement here. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take this moment to enjoy all the hard work you did for your body. Take stock of everything that you thought you couldn't do. But once you tried it, you realized, well, I do have the tools I need to try things that scare me, right? You are capable of so much more than you might realize. And I hope our tarot-inspired class with the magician helped you see that just a little bit more. Stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like today, taking this time for rest. I want to thank you for joining me for another tarot-inspired yoga class, and I'll be back with more very soon. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.